What's up guys, it's Josh from KeepItTechie, and today I want to do a quick video showing you guys the remove command. Now, I always like to do command line utilities that are actually built into the Linux operating system that have been around for a long time. And just like the W command that I talked about not that long ago, this is another command that's been around for years, and this is one of the actual commands that you should learn when you first starting out playing around with Linux. And this will teach you how to actually remove files and folders from directories within the Linux file system. And I know that most people will most likely install a desktop environment where they could just quickly right click on a folder and delete it. But let's say you want to set up a Linux server. This is one of the commands you will have to know in order to remove files and folders on the actual system. So let's get started. Okay, cool. So this will be a super short video, but I do have a couple of files and folders created that I'll use for this example. But the first thing I want to do is actually show you guys the man page for remove. So let's type that in now. So man, and then remove, press enter, and then let's go down and read the name of it. So it says RM remove files and directories. Here's the synopsis, or the way you run the command. So RM, then your options, and then the files or folders. And then also, if we read the description, it says this manual page documents the GNU version of RM. Remove removes each specified file. By default, it does not remove directories, and I'll get to that a little later because there's an option that you have to use in order to remove directories. But it says if the I or interactive or dash interactive equals once option is given, and there are more than 3 files, or the dash or capital or dash recursive or giving, then remove prompts the user for whether to proceed with the entire operation. If the response is not affirmative, the entire command is aborted. Otherwise, if a file is unwritable, standard input in a terminal, and the -F or dash force option is not given, or the I or interactive always option is given, remove prompts the user for whether to remove the file. If the response is not affirmative, the file is skipped. So let's go down to the options. It says remove unlink the files. Let's see, it says -F force -I prompts -capital I prompt once before removing more or 3 files. And then there are a couple other options, and I'll show you guys by running some of the examples that I wanted to do. So let's go on and get started on that. Let's quit the man page and show you guys a couple examples of how to remove files and folders. And cool, let me go on and stretch out the terminal right fast so you guys can see a little better, and then let's clear again. But I'm already in my test directory. I created a folder called test remove with a couple folders and files in it. And actually, let's go on and ls this directory so you guys can actually see what's going on. And I also have 2 scripts in there, so just ignore that. These scripts are for creating these directories, and I basically create or generate random directories with random files within it. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is show you guys how to do a simple remove by just running a remove command against one file. So I'm gonna cd into one of these directories that I created. So let's go to the 122 directory and press enter, and let's ls this directory as well. That way we can see the files that are in there. And now it all depends on the working directory you're in. You don't have to fully specify the full path of the file. If you're in a working directory, all you have to do is type that file name. So if we type RM, and then I'm gonna delete that first one, which is 1081. It's just a random file, so let's do that, 1081. So all you have to do is type RM, and this will actually delete that file for you. So let's press enter, and just see what happens. And as long as it doesn't give you any output, that means it ran successfully. So if we run the ls command again, you'll see that that 1081 file is actually gone. Now that that's done, I want to show you guys how to actually delete multiple files. So let's say we want to delete these second two files right here, so 23085 and then 3740. So all you have to do is type the remove command again, and then let's specify those files. So 23085 and then also 37540, and let's type it out. Yeah, 40, and I typed that in wrong, so 40. There we go, and press enter, and that'll delete both of those files together. So if we ls this directory one more time, you'll see that those files are actually gone now. Now the next thing I want to do is kind of show you guys how to delete all of the files within the current directory that you're in. All you have to do is type rm, and then you can use a wildcard, which is the store. So if you type remove and then store, that'll remove everything within the working directory file, so folder. So let's press enter, and then let's ls this directory again, and we'll see that all those files are gone now. So every file within that directory is gone. So now let's move up one directory. So let's go cd ... So we want to change directories, and we want to move up the directory tree. So by typing ... well, space ... that'll take you up one level, and now we're back into that test remove directory where we stored it. So if we ls this directory again, press enter, you'll see that that folder is still there. The 12283, that directory is still there. All the files are gone within it though. And then we can ls it again just to show you guys one more time. But 12, boom, we can ls that directory. You'll see that nothing is in there. Now let me go down and show you guys you can remove that actual directory. So if we type rm, and then one thing about the remove command, like it states, as long as there are no files within that directory, it'll remove that directory. So let's just go down and run it on here. So 12, boom, and I always like to take the backslash or the back forward slash off. That way it'll know to delete that one directory or delete that directory, which it doesn't matter if it has the slash on it or not, but I have a habit of removing it off of there. But let's go down and press enter, and it will fail because it's a directory. And I forgot, you have to put that dash or option in there, and I'll show you guys that in a little bit. I actually thought it would remove it. I forgot that no matter what it is, it has to have that dash or in there in order to remove that directory. So in order to remove this directory, we have to use another option. Now let's type rm and then dash or for recursive in order to remove this directory, and it'll remove the directory and any files that were underneath it. So if we have files underneath that directory, it will remove those as well. So let's go down and do that now. So let's type 12283, and like I said, I always like take that backslash off, but let's press enter, and as you can see, it didn't give us an error this time. So if we ls again, we'll see that that directory is actually gone. Now let's go into this other directory, or the actual next directory, because I want to show you guys a little bit more about those wildcards. So if we cd to the 15183 directory, boom, and then let's ls this directory so we can see what's in it. Now let's say we want to remove all of the files that have a file in front of it, so all the ones that are files. And then we can also do it another way. We can also specify all the files that have .text at the end of it, and I'll show you both of those ways now. So if we type remove, and this applies to a lot of different commands that you have out there, you can use those wildcards to help you remove files, a bunch of files at one single time, or copy files or move files to a different location. But this is how you actually do it. So you find something in common with the files that you want. to remove. So let's say, you know, all the files that you want to remove have file in front of it. So one thing you can actually do is type file and then put the store at the end of it, which is a wildcard. So it'll find all the files within the working directory that have file in it and remove all of those files. Now you can also do it the opposite way. So let's say you want to find all the text files and you want to remove them. And as you can see, all these files with a number.txt file, they are all text files. You know what I'm saying? So you can remove all of those files with the wildcard, but using the extension on the end. So if we type store and then .txt, that's one of the common ports of the actual files that you can use to actually remove all those files. And I'll run it this way, but I'll run it on another directory using that same wildcard, but I'll use file on it. But let's press enter on this, and as you can see, it didn't give us any output, so that means it successfully ran. So if we ls this directory, you'll see that all those text files are gone now, all of them. And then just to specify a little bit deeper, like let's say you only want to remove these files with the 2 in front of it. Let's say you want to remove both of those. Well, you could do remove and then the number 2 and then the wildcard after it, and that'll remove those files as well. So if we ls this directory, we'll see only 3 files left. So all of the ones with the 2 in front of it, those got removed. So we're good to go. Now let's see the up directory, and I wanted to show you guys in another directory how to remove it, you know, using the front with the wildcard or the front of the file name with the wildcard. So let's go, which we kind of did with the 2. That kind of shows you that it works, but I want to show you again. So let's cd to the 165 directory and ls this directory, and you see it has a bunch of file names in it. So if we go remove and then let's type file and then the wildcard after it, press enter, and if we ls this directory, we'll see that all the files are gone, or all the ones that have file in the name are gone. Okay, cool. Now let's go up one directory again, and it's another thing I want to show you guys, but I'm gonna have to change some of the permissions on the files. So let's press enter right fast, and let's ls this directory, and I'm gonna use the LA option on the end of it. That way we can pull up the permissions on them. Okay, cool. So one last thing I wanted to show you guys, like I stated, I have to change the permissions on the file. So let's run the chmod command, and let's do 555, and then let's do recursive. So it'll go through all the directories underneath it, or all the files underneath the directory. So let's go 8299, and then let's type in the folder that we want to do, and that's 829. And I only want to make these changes, and I typed in something wrong up here, but I only want to make changes to the files underneath it. So let's press enter. Boom. Now let's go down and try to delete this folder right fast. So if we type rm-r for recursive, and then let's try to delete this folder, and I just mainly want to show you guys the output that it'll give you with permissions that are set to writes, or they don't have write permissions on it, or you don't have write permissions on it. I just want to show you guys. So let's press enter, and then what it's going to do is ask you for each folder underneath, each file underneath the folder underneath it, if you really want to remove it or not. And you can type Y, and I'm sure it's not going to work. It's probably going to say permissions denied for each one of these files, but we can always run sudo, and that'll remove all the files underneath it, because we don't have write access. So yeah, and that's exactly what it did. So permissions denied, yes, permissions denied. And for each file underneath it, it's going to ask you every single time. Well, the way you avoid this questioning that asks you is by using the F option, and I'll show you guys after I go through each one of these files right fast. So let me just hurry up and get through them. Boom. And then actually let's go on and run the chmod again, but what I want to do is actually just run it on the folder. And that's weird that I had I had it on both of them. I didn't mean to do that, but let's remove the -r on there, and then let's change the permissions for this is 766 and press enter, and let's ls this the directory that we in, so ls-la, press enter. And actually I did the wrong permissions, so let's go back in here and do 755. That's what I meant to do. So if we ls this directory one more time, boom, it's back to where it was at the top level. But if we ls this directory to look at the files underneath it, this is mainly what I wanted to see. I wanted to see that it doesn't have write protection on all the files underneath it, but write protection on the folder. So let's run the remove command again and press enter. And then as you can see, it'll go through each one of those files. This is mainly what I want to show you guys. So yes, 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 yes. And so it went through and removed all those files underneath that folder. But in order to avoid that, you have to use the -f option on it. So since all those files are gone, I can't do it now, but I'm gonna use another directory just to show you guys. So let's go up and run that chmod command, and let's do it for that last folder that we had under there. So 9217, so 9217, and actually we're gonna run 55 for all the files underneath it, and this will make it write protected. So if we ls that directory right fast, so the 9217, and actually let's type in -la, and we want to look at what's under there. So as you can see, everything is write protected underneath it. Now this is the exact same way that we had it before. So if we go ls-la, you'll see that the top directory is still the same, so 9217. Okay, in order to remove it without giving us that same output that we had right here, to avoid that, basically you have to use F, which is force. And so that'll basically bypass all those questions every single time. So let's delete that folder now. So let's go remove -rf, and then let's type 9217, and let's backspace that off and press enter. As you can see, it didn't give us any output because of that -f on the end of it, or one of the options is F. And if we ls this directory, you'll see that the 9217 file folder is gone as well. And it didn't give us, you know, those questions for each file that is underneath it. So that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and got something out of it. If you have any questions, leave comments down in the comment boxes below. I know this was a very simple video, very quick video as well, because it's only so much you could do with these small commands like this, but these commands are very important to learn, especially if you're just getting into learning Linux and you want to understand how to manage files and folders from the command line. This is one of those commands you will need to know. So please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and of course, keep it techie.